Have you ever sat in the audience of a presentation and the speaker walks on, and before they even start speaking, you can tell they're nervous? And what does that do to your perception of the speaker? Well, if you're like most of us, either you feel nervous for them, or you start to discredit them because they're nervous, or you feel sorry for them. Now, what a shame this is. Just because the speaker's nervous, they could have 12 PhDs and we're already deciding, this person doesn't know what they're talking about. And how many of you have been in the situation when you were that speaker? Today, we're going to talk about how to counteract your body's natural fight or flight mechanism and make sure that you command the space. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, I'm Fia Fasbinder and welcome to Moxie Talk, where we help you find your voice, share your message, and lead with confidence. Today we're talking about your body on fear. What happens to your body on fear? Now, first we need to start by literally unpacking what happens to your body on fear. So when our body senses a threat and our fight or flight mechanism starts to fire off, all these funky things start to happen to our body. And they're all related to the idea that we are not supposed to be standing giving a presentation. We are supposed to be running away from that saber-toothed tiger or climbing up a tree to hide. We are literally supposed to fight, flight, or freeze. Unfortunately, we are stuck there giving a presentation. So what happens to our body? Some of you might recognize these just awful things that happen when you're nervous to your body. So the first that happens for a lot of people is dry mouth. Do you ever get dry mouth when you're presenting? You know why? This is pretty crazy. When your body goes into fight or flight, your body starts to pull all of the blood away from any parts of your body that are unnecessary to fight, flight, or freeze. One of those parts is your stomach. And when circulation goes away from your stomach, digestion stops. And what's a digestion byproduct? Spit or saliva. So we get dry mouth. And this is just an awful thing that happens to a lot of us when we start to get nervous. Another thing that happens to some people is shaking. Do you ever see speakers shake, or do you shake and you don't know what's going on? So same thing, your body is shaking because all that adrenaline has hit your limbs and you're supposed to fight or flee, but instead you're staying still. The other crazy thing that happens is deer in headlights or forgetting what to say. Now, this happens because I mentioned last time that all the blood is coming away from the parts of your body that aren't necessary for fleeing or fighting. Well, one of those parts is your lovely prefrontal cortex. And your prefrontal cortex is responsible for logic, rational thought, memory, and when the blood flow comes away from there, our memory decreases by up to 75%. So there you have it, like all these crazy things that are happening to our body because of our fight or flight mechanism. Now, the other one that happens, and this is major, and might be what you thought about when I said, what happens when a speaker walks on and you can tell they're nervous before they've even started speaking? For a lot of us, our bodies get small, like we turn in. And the reason we're doing this, again, that fight or flight mechanism is telling us to hide from a predator, hide from anything that might attack us, and get small. Obviously, we're not hiding, we're giving a presentation, everyone can see us. But our lizard brain, our ancient brain, doesn't know that, and it's starting to make you small so that you hide from those predators. So all in all, this is showing you that all of these funky things that happen to our bodies because of fear, because of stage fright, are caused by this ancient reaction to what our brain senses is a threat. Now, most of the funky things that I mentioned that happen to your body can actually be solved by breathing. Diaphragmatic breathing is the key to bringing your body out of fight or flight. I posted a video that you can watch all about how your diaphragm works, why it works, and how to use it. So if you have dry mouth, if you're shaking, if you can't remember what to say, if your heart is racing, all of these can be solved by using your diaphragm, learning to use your diaphragm. However, all of the diaphragmatic breathing in the world is not going to help you if your problem is that you get small. You start to hunch over, you look down, you're crossing your arms, you feel like you can't keep your hands out of your pocket. So none of those are going to be solved by diaphragmatic breathing. We need to talk a little bit about body language. Psychologists have an acronym they call CTBA, and that stands for change your thoughts, which changes your body, which changes your action. But myself, a lovely woman named Amy Cuddy, and every actor I know in the world actually thinks that it's CBTA, meaning you change your body, which changes your thoughts, which actually changes your actions. So let's talk about how to do that. Now, I'm going to start by talking a little bit about Amy Cuddy's research into power posing. Amy Cuddy took a group of participants and she split them into two groups. One group had to do a power pose for 2 minutes a day, and the other group didn't. The group that did the power pose had to do any pose that really expanded their body, right? This or this or this. They notice that my chest cavity is nice and open and I'm really big. The other group didn't. After a month, their hormones were studied, and it was found that the group that did the power posing had spikes in their testosterone, which is everybody's power hormone, and decreases in their cortisol levels, which is everybody's stress hormone. Now, since this social study was done, this social experiment, nobody has been able to prove exactly these same amounts of hormones. However, it has been proven over and over that changing your body language makes you feel more confident. Now, Amy Cuddy says that minor tweaks to your body language change the way you feel about yourself, which obviously changes the way you behave and changes the way people perceive you. So this is summed up by saying, you don't fake it till you make it, you fake it till you become it. So what does this mean about giving a presentation? Those speakers we talked about earlier that walk on super nervous, they are crazy nervous because it's the first 5 minutes of their presentation and they're not even thinking about what their body's doing. They're not even aware that they're getting small. They're just doing what their body naturally does when it feels scared. However, awareness is the key to changing any behavior. So if you think about when you are most nervous in a presentation, the studies show it's the 5 minutes prior and the first 5 minutes of your presentation. And those are the ones that I want to focus on. Next time you're going to give a presentation, you know those first 5 minutes you're going to be crazy nervous. Instead of doing what your body naturally wants to do, which is get small, you're going to have to do some faking it till you become it. Meaning you're going to fake the body language of a confident person until you start feeling confident. And then that audience is going to say, oh my gosh, look at that confident speaker. How come she's never nervous? They have no idea that you're nervous because you don't look nervous, right? How does this relate to actors? I told you every actor in the world does this. Now, when I was an actor, I studied method acting. And method acting is literally trying to become that character, living like that character. If I had to play a confident person, somebody that was, really had moxie, what would I do? I would go out and I would observe confident people and I would watch the way they moved. And then I would move that way. And then I would start to feel like those characters. So whether you are adopting Amy Cuddy's mentality or you want to create a persona for yourself that's confident, faking it till you become it, donning the body language of a confident person in the first 5 minutes when you're super nervous will definitely help you reverse this fight or flight mechanism that happens to a lot of us when we're presenting. So now we've talked about a lot of these crazy body language signs that happen when you're all jacked up in fear. You know that you need to work on your diaphragmatic breathing. Fake it till you become it. The other advice I want to leave you with is really just mindset. Go big, strut, shake, listen to music that pumps you up. Say a mantra over and over in your head. Use this body language, but also use your mindset so that you tell yourself over and over, I got this, I'm a rock star, whatever it is that makes you feel like that person that's confident, that goes big, that gives a killer presentation. So there you have it, some tips to help you make sure you're not showing your body on fear next time you give a presentation. If you liked this video, make sure to share it, like it, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you next time on Moxie Talk.